Details on the NDA signed by CM Punk and Ace Steel after AEW Brawl Out have now been revealed. Cody Rhodes reportedly is set to sign a new contract extension with WWE that could be a significant pay raise from the current deal he's on right now. The authors of Pain are set to return, having been hinted at last night in a vignette on SmackDown for a faction with Karrion Kross and Paul Ellering. Santos Escobar's now got backup in the form of Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza on SmackDown last night. WWE officially announces the New Year's Knockout Week featuring Day 1 Raw and SmackDown New Year's Revolution. A Women's Championship match is set for SmackDown New Year's Revolution in a couple weeks' time. Hiroshi Tanahashi is the brand new president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And how come Dragon Lee can sell non-WWE merchandise? We'll let you know why. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about Brawl Out and the NDAs and legal action that followed. Now, a new interview has revealed details on former WWE and AEW World Champion CM Punk and Ace Steel's AEW All Out Brawl NDAs. Now, the wrestling world is still reeling over a year later from the events and fallout of the AEW All Out 2022 post-show press conference and subsequent backstage brawl between CM Punk and the Elite. The brawl also involved Punk's close friend and then AEW producer Ace Steel. Everyone involved in what was later to be referred to as Brawl Out was removed from television, stripped of their titles, and forced to sign an NDA about what transpired. Appearing on Wrestling with Rip Rogers, Punk and Steel's attorney, Stephen P. New, was asked if he could provide any details on the NDA the two men signed after All Out 2022. He answered the following, saying, quote, "You're never going to hear me or Ace or Punk comment on the particulars. The only thing that I will say is that those are two of the most stand-up guys that I've ever met in any walk of life, let alone the sport of professional wrestling, and I'll always be here for those guys. That's really all I can say." On Ace Steel's wife being the only person involved in Brawl Out who did not sign an NDA, New said, quote, "Punk's obviously happy, he's in a good place. Ace is happy, he's in a good place, and I'll always be here for those guys." And as Ace said, the only person, granted she's not completely objective and unbiased, but the only person not subject to an NDA, who's not subject to confidentiality provisions, is Ace's wife, Lucy. And so, maybe one day she tells the story. On if Punk and Steel's NDAs are for life, New simply responded, yes. Now, CM Punk, of course, had his AEW contract terminated with cause following a backstage altercation with Jack Perry earlier this year at AEW All In at London's Wembley Stadium. Punk later returned to WWE for the first time in nearly a decade at Survivor Series last month. He since declared himself for the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble match. Meanwhile, Ace Steel recently spoke about his time working at the Performance Center. More recently, he's been working backstage as a producer for Impact, soon to be TNA Wrestling. So if you're hoping one day to hear CM Punk or Ace Steel talk about it, they can't. They sign NDAs for life, but Ace Steel's wife maybe one day will reveal the story. So do you think we're ever going to hear the full story, or is this going to be one of these bigger mysteries in the world of professional wrestling? Let me know your thoughts about that. Now, Cody Rhodes. A bit of an update on Cody Rhodes. It's contract renewal and extension season, and WWE is interested in extending another contract, and it's a major one. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select has confirmed that sources have confirmed to Fightful that WWE has been engaged in talks with Cody Rhodes about a multi-year contract extension. Based on what Fightful has been told, WWE is trying to lock him down for the long term. Of late, WWE has extended the contracts of Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Rey Mysterio, and Dominic Mysterio. Rhodes would be a monumental re-signing for the company. Now, Fightful haven't heard about terms, but everyone that they've spoken to in the industry expects Cody to get a sizable raise whenever the deal does occur. Fightful have been told that the contract extension is specifically a priority for TKO. And those that Fightful spoke to were confident that a deal would get done eventually. Now, Cody also ended up getting a new bus. Of course, he travels around in a bus quite often. He's got a family, a young child, and he got a new bus around Thanksgiving, which led to some in the company thinking he already got a new deal. However, Fightful have been told that has not been finalized and he has not put pen to paper just yet. So Cody Rhodes could be staying in WWE for a long time yet. Now, let's talk about SmackDown last night. And we got the first glimpse at the AOP in WWE for the first time time in close to 3 years. It seems that the clues in a new Karrion Kross vignette have lined up perfectly with recent news about a potential reveal of a new WWE faction. On last night's SmackDown, there was another mysterious vignette from Karrion Kross and Scarlett. However, while the last one featured two large figures seemingly in gas masks to obscure their faces, a third figure has since joined this shadowy squad, flashing to an image of two big and tall bodies and another bold, albeit shorter figure in the center. While nothing was confirmed, this certainly seems an interesting trio of shapes, given the recent reports of the impending returns to SmackDown of the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering. So, it looks like those reports were accurate, and looks like we're going to be getting a faction of Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Paul Ellering, and the AOP. What are your thoughts on that as a faction in WWE? Could that work? What are your thoughts on the AOP, and what are your thoughts that Paul Ellering could be back in WWE as well? Now, speaking of factions, seemingly we've got a new one in the form of Santos Escobar, Angel Garza, and Humberto Carrillo. Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza are back on the main roster. Carrillo and Garza appeared in masks at the end of the match between Santos Escobar and Bobby Lashley on Friday SmackDown, attacking the Street Profits, who were at ringside. The distraction allowed Escobar to roll up Lashley for the victory, advancing to the finals of the United States title tournament that will determine the next challenger for champion Logan Paul. After the match, Garza and Carrillo removed their mask, revealing their identities as they posed with Escobar. Although they were drafted to Raw earlier this year as part of the 2023 WWE draft, Garza and Carrillo instead started to make appearances in NXT this summer. They did a series of vignettes where they dropped their Lothario gimmick and instead wished to honor their grandfather's legacy. Their most recent match was on the November 28 edition of NXT, losing to Tony D'Angelo and Stax in a match that was for the NXT Tag Team Championship. So that's a new faction, seemingly, that is going to be feuding with the LWO and Rey Mysterio on SmackDown. Now, WWE, specifically Triple H, has announced a big week of programming in the first week of 2024. WWE has introduced New Year's Knockout Week to kick off 2024 with a bang, including 3 new specials airing on Peacock. Last night's SmackDown began with AJ Styles explaining his actions from last week's episode of SmackDown, making it clear he didn't care about Randy Orton or LA Knight's feud with the Bloodline, but he wanted Roman Reigns as soon as possible. While this eventually brought out both Knight and Orton, business would really pick up with the SmackDown general manager, Nick Aldis, once he hit the scene. Nick Aldis joined the trio to make a big announcement about how it would be determined exactly who would get the next shot against Roman Reigns. In 2 weeks, January 5th, 2024, on SmackDown, it will be New Year's Revolution with a big triple threat match between AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton. Aldis said that the winner of the match would face Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. In the commercial break, WWE aired an advert for a big upcoming week of programming between January 1st and January 5th, dubbing it New Year's Knockout Week, with Raw hosting the special Day 1 edition on January 1st, NXT's special New Year's Evil branded edition on Tuesday. 2 new offerings on Peacock for the week were announced, with Wednesday set to premiere the Best of the Bump for 2023, as well as Best of Premium Live Events for 2023 on Thursday. Thursday is also set to be the debut of a WWE 24 preview special, and then Friday's edition of SmackDown wrapping up the week was the aforementioned New Year's Revolution. So certainly a big week of programming in 2024 to kick off the year. Speaking of which, for that New Year's Revolution edition of SmackDown, we've got a Women's Championship match announced for the show as well. In 2 weeks at SmackDown New Year's Revolution, Michin Mia Yim will take on Io Sky in a big WWE Women's Championship match. With Michin Mia Yim taking to Twitter after the match was announced, she wrote, quote, "New Year's Revolution, pop off. Let me show you what Michin can really do. Don't worry, Io-san, I haven't forgotten the scar you gave me on my face." Of course, also on that show, we're going to be getting that undisputed Universal Championship #1 contenders triple threat match as well. Let's talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Hiroshi Tanahashi is the new company president. In an intriguing bit of news from New Japan Pro Wrestling, in-ring legend Hiroshi Tanahashi has been appointed as new company president. As per New Japan Pro Wrestling, they said, quote, "After a meeting of New Japan Pro Wrestling's board of directors and shareholders today, December 23rd, 2023, the following personnel change has been made in company management. Reason for personnel change: alterations to management structure, newly appointed officials, president and representative Director Hiroshi Tanahashi, Director Hitoshi Matsumoto, Chief of Business Production TV Ashi, Director Taro Okada, President and CEO of Bushi Road Fights. Mr. Okada's position is on a part-time basis. Effective December 2023, Takahami Abari and Mikagi Nishiwa will step down from their positions as President/Representative Director and Director respectively. Newly appointed President/Representative Director profile, Hiroshi Tanahashi, was born November 13, 1976 in Akagi City, Gifu. After graduating in law at Rushimaikan University, Tanahashi joined New Japan in 1999 and debuted that October. He won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship for the first of a record 8 times in 2006, achievements along with 4-time Pro Wrestling MVP status that have led him to be called the Ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling. There'll be a press conference on December 26 at 1 p.m., that is Japan time, concerning the changes made above. A message to the fans, it says, "Thank you for your ongoing support of New Japan Pro Wrestling. On January 4, we present Wrestle Kingdom 18 in the Tokyo Dome. Hiroshi Tanahashi will address the fans directly in his new role as president. New Japan Pro Wrestling looks forward to your continued support under the new leadership structure." Now, Tanahashi is a current title holder in New Japan as well, as he holds the Never Openweight 6-man championship alongside Kazuchika Okada and Tomohiro Ishii. Of course, we get any more information on this big developing breaking news, of course, we'll let you know. But what are your thoughts on Tanahashi being the new company president of New Japan Pro Wrestling? Certainly major changes in that company. Finally, this is a really interesting bit of news here regarding Dragon Lee and something he has in his contract that not a lot of other people have in WWE. Now, a contract detail that allows NXT North American champion Dragon Lee to have non-WWE merchandise has been revealed. In early 2023, Dragon Lee signed with WWE and made his debut on the NXT brand ahead of WrestleMania 39 weekend. Since then, Lee has become one of the company's fastest rising stars, winning the NXT North American Championship, also getting called up to the SmackDown brand on the main roster. Last week, Masked Republic announced plans to launch a new merchandise and apparel line around their Cine Lucha brand. One of the luchadors featured is Dragon Lee. Per PW Insider, certain Masked Republic projects and merchandise items are approved within WWE's Dragon Lee contract due to the company's Lucha Libre agency negotiating his deal initially. This would include the Cine Lucha licensed t-shirt and an upcoming children's book, among other potential items as well. The report notes that Masked Republic has been busy in regards to helping a number of international stars secure work visas so they can perform for WWE, AEW, and other promotions as well. So if you're wondering why that is the case, that's because it was negotiated into his deal. But there you go, guys. This latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.